Let's see. Okay, that's very nice. I'm going to probably do one more here. Okay, let's look at this real quick. When I introduced, so first she's definitely the brightest person in the place, right? Mm-hmm. Did you see the chair is distracting? Mm-hmm. I don't know. So how should I point this? The person is distracting. This part of the chair is pretty bright, but it's not as bright as her, so it takes away. Okay, but it's fine. If I introduce the light bulb, which is something I tried,
it's too bright.
It becomes a distraction and it doesn't work. Does that make sense?
Right.
This whole room was transformed by turning off the lights and using the video light and the lamp. Okay, now that lamp is giving her that yellow, beautiful tone, but the ice light's giving her that window light. So it looks really nice and contrasting, right? But this photo's obviously not working because of that. Right. This photo's definitely more on the attractive side just because I had her put her chin down and I got rid of her eyelids altogether, right? And you have all these contrasting rooms. Now, because she's sitting on the floor, it's what makes this pose look like that. If she was sitting on this chair, she would be at a too high of an angle, and it wouldn't look the same. Can you sit on the chair for me for a sec? Thank you. If you were to do that, turn this way and chin down. I'm going to actually speed up. This is not going to work. It just changes everything about it, you know what I mean? Look at this, compare it to the portrait right there. Okay? So, cool. Give me tiger. Give me tiger. Okay, good job. All right, so what you learn from this is probably that the chair is a chair. Yes, but you can use the chair in so many different ways. Like, it was used to sit on. Look at the way she's standing now. Her arms are resting. You could use it to sit on the floor and rest your back on it. Remember to look at the objects not for what they are. Like, a chair means you sit on the chair.
Right.
But it doesn't have to mean you sit on the chair.
Right.
You can do something else with the chair. The lamp doesn't have to illuminate her. It can give her a contrasting light source to give her that orange feel to it. So you can just paint with light. You know what I mean? These bookcases here are all part of the same color tone.
Right.
Right? There's also a sense of balance because there's 3 bookcases. So if there's 3 bookcases, this would not be distracting at all because the colors are all pretty much the same family. So it's not like you have some random bright red somewhere there, you know? Let's have, this could be a cool backdrop for the groom. If we can have him sit here. But then it's a little too low actually. So maybe we can do it through not sitting down. So let's have, let's see here. Okay, Matt, come this way. All right, Juliana, come over. I know you want to come over.
I want it. I've been like, why didn't he call me first? Hi.
Okay, you have Matt.
Yeah.
You have books.
Yeah.
You have bookshelves.
Yeah.
You want him to be the focus point, right?
Right.
You do not put everything in focus because it's going to throw off the whole photograph.
Right.
What do you think you should do? You have reflector, you have diffuser, you have ice light.
I think it should be. Could I come like on this angle?
Of course, any angle.
And just like take a picture
Yes.
with all the bookcase.
Exactly.
And just focus on him.
Good job. Does he have to be facing you?
He could be facing that way.
That way, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's
it's
good.
more like a.
Okay, go ahead and try it. There's the camera. We have ice light.
It's not back button, right? No. It's not a back button. I can't focus without the back button. Why is it not working?
Just push the button.
I'm
Halfway.
pushing the button. I'm really pushing the button, Roberto.
Okay.
Check the connection in the camera.
Let me grab that.
So
No, but the camera itself, it's...
Yep, it's just this cable, so watch out for that cable right there.
just keep it tight in there. I don't know.
Oh, no. Where's everything here?
You don't use Canon?
I do, but is it the same? Yeah. No.
Increase the shutter speed.
Hold on.
You're a little slow on the shutter speed.
Okay.
Try that.
That's really dark. Super dark.
Okay, that's fine. Let's take that real quick. That looks really good. So you notice that he's the brightest part of the photo. So
Right.
there's subject emphasis through light. The background is not distracting because all the colors of the books are part of the same color palette. They're not like some crazy yellow, red, green, blue or something. It's all pretty toned down.
Right.
Let's try to finesse that pose a little bit.
Okay.
We can try a symmetrical pose, which will look pretty cool. Do we have 2 ice lights?
Asymmetrical?
Symmetrical posing.
No, symmetrical.
So, standing from the middle of this bookcase right here, actually, let's stand in the middle of this one. Let me move this. Now, I don't want the
lower.
books in focus, right?
No.
Now, the books are just going to be like this dark, rustic colors that are going to be appearing. So I need him to come forward about right there. And then I'll go ahead and do the 85 millimeter. Let me see, 85 millimeter lens here. The reason why I'm going to 85 is to really get those books out of focus. Does that make sense? Because I can go to 1.2 here, although I'm not going to use 1.2, I'm going to go to 2.0. Okay, so stand with your weight totally even. So we're going to do symmetrical pose. Tilt your body forward and take one step this way. Put your hands in your pockets, really in your pockets. Like, don't tilt any shoulder this way or that way. Totally straight on. Good. Let me see. Let's put one ice light over here. Kind of behind him. And then another ice light over there. I don't know,
I'll hold
Juliana,
it.
can you help with one of them?
Yeah.
You can help do this one. So now, by putting the light behind him, I'm actually taking light away from the books again and into his face. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But you need to actually go behind him, really behind him. So it's going to illuminate that side only. Those books are not going to be illuminated, so turn the light so you don't hit the books at all. Now bring your chin down and lean forward a bit. Chin down more and eyes up. There you go. Let me see. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, guys, take a illuminating. Take a step away from him.
This direction?
Bring that shoulder more this way, Matt. Yeah, right there. And chin down a bit. And just stay right there for a second. Good. Hold on a second. And one more. Actually, Julian, take a step this way. So those lights need to be equal distance from him.
Okay.
And almost. Chin down just a tad more, right there. And we can do a black and white version of this. And go back to color. And I'm going to come in a little closer. Chin down a bit. And one more. Oops, that was not supposed to happen. Chin down a little more. Let's see. His nose is illuminated on this side, but not on that side.
So what do you want?
Bring that light over here. That way I can get his nose equally. More, Juliana, more. Right there. Bring that light farther back. More. And closer to him. Now do the same. Further back, closer to him. Right there. And is there there isn't. That's fine. Very nice. Stay right there. Chin down a bit. And bring that light just a little bit back. More. Right there. Just a little more. A little more. Right there. Now that one too. Back a little bit. Right there. Stop. A little more. Back that way. There you go. I'll explain what I'm doing here. I'm going to bring the light closer to him, but same distance. There you go. So keep it further back by the books and closer to him. Oh, okay, there's too close. I'm sorry, too close now. Okay, thanks.
I want a nice light.
Okay. Come here, if you guys, I don't know how we look at this, but I did a bunch of photos that were making his nose look bigger, some photos that make his nose look smaller. I tilted his chin down to give it that real intimate look into the eyes. I didn't want his eyes to be further back from the invisible focal plane. So come and take a look at this photo real quick.
Excuse me. It's nice.
So you see all this balance and stuff, it's just like really working. And even those crossing his head, it's so far in the background and it's so continuous that you see it as a pattern. If that was the only line over his head and you wouldn't see the other ones,
Right.
it would be a problem.
So then you have the pattern.
You have a pattern, so it's okay. Look what happens if you illuminate too close to his nose. Now you look at his nose, it looks humongous.
Right.
Okay? Guys, go ahead and take a look at this real quick, if you're an audience member. You see the nose is pretty large? It's not working, right? When you're shooting, don't freak out about shooting and just shoot away. Look carefully and ask yourself, what the heck is wrong with this photograph? And then fix it slowly. There's no need to freak out. Just fix it. When I saw that, I said, do you really want the nose illuminated that strongly? I mean, you want emphasis through light, right? But not emphasis on the nose through light. So as I was photographing him, by the way, let me explain what I was showing. See, the shelves are all horizontals, right? And one of them is crossing through his head. But because you see the rest of the bookshelves, it becomes more like a pattern and it doesn't bother you as much. If that was the only one that was visible, it would be more bothersome. Now, that photo of illuminating with the two ice lights looks pretty cool in the same room. We're using the same room to create all kinds of moods and looks and stuff. I mean, we started out, this is a pretty interesting photo for him. We started out with photos like that using sun. We moved to photographs like this using combination of light sources and using the chair as a way to have her sit down.
It's beautiful.
Now combine this photo with this photo for the album and you start to get photos that people will hire you for no matter what the economy looks like.
And we're in the same room.
and you're still in the same room. And we haven't even used this room to its not even close maximum potential. Like, just looking around, it just keeps on going. Okay? Let's take a step outside and let's see what we can do with that.
You did brilliant.
No, you just put there's tape on it now. Okay, guys, if you're an audience member, come over here. Come. Okay, before we do the photo, let's look at the obvious. Okay? The obvious here is what? Okay, so you would sit her there and you would take your photo, right? Mm-hmm. Is that gonna give you economy-proof photos?
No.
Economy-proof. Where we have more elements, if you look at the chart. We can have her sit. We can have her. Do we have to use this table to rest cups, or could we have her rest her body there? Could she possibly sit this way and rest her body, like she's just relaxing and chilling? Mm-hmm. That's fine. The table, like I said before, the chair doesn't mean sit down. The table doesn't mean you have to have something on top of it. You could just lean on it. Okay. We have frames. Do you see them? Mm-hmm. Where is it?
There.
Where else?
There.
Right here. You see this frame?
Yeah.
Now, we can try to add depth to the photo. So we could have her sit. The lighting here is pretty good. Their light's coming from there, right?
Yeah.
But it's not good enough. We can always make it better. Okay? So we will have Kisia sit there, or lean here, or put the table there. We can have her look towards the light. We can put a nice light there, or a flash, or whatever you want to do. And we can shoot this photo from the inside out. So now you have a frame on top of it all. Best thing is you have color elements of only one color here. You have a single color background. And this chair has a green earthy tone, just like the wall. So lots of things are working on your favor here. So first think, what's the obvious choice? Sit her, take a picture of her, right? Now start adding location elements to it. So let's try it. Let's see, who hasn't gone yet? You haven't gone, right, friend?
No.
All right. Let's see.
You know, you said shoot it from inside. Did you mean like frame through the window?
Of course.
Through the window,
Shoot her
right?
from inside through the
So
window.
that this will
You
be the frame, right?
Of course, you don't show the number.
Yeah.
And then you shoot in this way, and you illuminate her, turning her face towards the light. Now that light is not good enough.
No.
See, if you look at the way he's lit, you have
Yeah.
some light, but it's not amazing. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So we have to improve on it.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's when we use
The reflector or the ice light. Now
The
the
lightsabers?
table and the chairs can be moved according to what you want to create. Okay, so you can move her. You can move the chair there and put the table there and just take a little shot, and she will look beautiful looking that way.
Okay.
She doesn't have to be looking at you. It's a little too obvious, but you can if you want.
No, yeah. Okay, so I'll just move this, I guess.
Okay. Here, Kisia, come on out. Please.
Sorry, guys. Excuse me.
So again, for the sake of remembering what we're doing, we're using the frames, right? We have single color background. We have the table, which is part of the same color tone, and we don't have to use it as what it's for. You can use it as a leaning device. You can do whatever you want. Okay.
Yeah, so I was like gonna get. Would here be okay?
Yeah.
Or
But
should I move
Be
over?
careful with
Okay.
that. Be
Yeah,
careful
that's
with
what I
that.
was thinking. So what would I do? Should I just move it?
Of course.
I'm really nervous.
Yes. Do whatever you need to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Just leave it there. It's fine. It'll be out of the way. Yeah.
That's what I'm intending on
It'll be out of
anyway.
the way.
Hey, babe, I'll get you.
Okay, Kisia, go ahead and do whatever
Just lean.
friend you want to do.
Oh God, I'm so nervous. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Just gonna fix you. Can I shoot your hair?
Yeah.
Sorry. Can't help it. All right, there you go. Okay. I kind of want her to look at the look that way, cause she's got really nice eyes, and I like how the hair is.
Okay.
Is that a bad idea?
Beautiful.
Okay.
You want to use the frame to add some depth,
Yeah.
right? If you take the normal photo, here, take this one. If you take the normal photo here,
Sorry. Yeah, from that side. You okay?
if you take a photo, it just looks
just
like what it
normal.
is. Like, ooh,
Yeah.
if the economy hits hard, you're going bankrupt. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a
Okay.
good way of putting it.
If you come over here, you want to choose the angle that's going to. Here, take this. Choose an angle that's going to give you the frame. So.
Sorry. What if the door was
Keep this
open?
open.
Yeah,
Keep
what
this
if the
open
door was
halfway.
ajar and use that as the frame? Would that work?
Yeah. See, you have this, then she's now framed by the doors, and then you have this as another portion. See what I'm saying? Obviously, this sign, we'll remove it, we'll put it back. Okay, now what's wrong with her?
Her posing?
The light,
She's got a shadow on this side.
well, we need to fix it.
We need the lightsaber.
The light, ice light.
Sorry, that's my shutter speed, right? How do I? 2.8
Shutter
is
speed?
okay?
Yeah, 2.8.
Yeah.
Shutter speed is at 8, so you want to make it a lot faster than that. Aperture. Okay? Now use this as the frame. And let's go ahead. Here.
Yeah, so, whoa, sorry.
Maybe from here.
Like at the top, from the top?
Now she doesn't,
No?
I wouldn't, you,
No.
you can still show her eyes without her looking at you,
That's true.
right? So go ahead and go inside. And now try the photo so it looks like it just happens to be framed
Should
by
that
the
light
doors.
still be on? Yeah.
See, her eyes are still showing. Look, she looks a little post though.
She does.
Try horizontal frame, horizontal landscape
this?
orientation, yeah.
Oh, okay, I see what you. Sorry. I have no idea if this is gonna work. Where are you?
Okay, this is obviously too bright, right?
Yeah,
So you don't want to show that. So
So-
change your angle.
Okay. Oh.
You did notice that yourself, right?
I did. That was
Okay.
the first thing I noticed. And I just didn't know how to fix it. Should I? You know how her arm's hanging? Does it look funny?
So bend it.
Yeah.
Bend it a little bit, her
Can
elbows.
you bend your elbow a wee bit? Yeah, that's better. Is that really uncomfortable?
The wrist is at a 90-degree angle now.
Pardon me?
The wrist is
Oh
at a
yeah,
90-degree
it
angle.
is. It totally is.
So have her hold the edge of the table.
Could you hold the edge of the table, please?
It's better.
Yeah,
And then bend the elbow just a tad
Bend
and
the
keep your
elbow a wee
spine really
bit.
straight.
Spine straight.
And now fix her head because it's too posy.
So should I get it like neat?
Turn her head and so
Could you
forth.
turn your head this way? Just slightly. Yeah, kind of like. Does that look weird? No, it looks weird. She's going robot.
Now she's looking straight at you. So have her look at the ice light. There you go, right there.
Oh.
Now too much
Eyes.
white, too much white.
There we go.
There you
we
go. Right there,
we
right
go.
there. Take
Alright,
it, take
I
it.
think this might work. Oh, bugger.
Let me see. Let me see your camera real quick. The camera.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm just gonna use the frames. I'm gonna do the same thing you're doing. I'm just gonna use the frames. Now her arm is obviously right there. So I don't know if you can bend your arm down. Can
Just a wee bit.
can you bend the elbow a little? Not yours. The person holding the door, Adriana or whoever's holding the door.
There?
Yeah,
Quite uncomfortable.
Dude, this is
that's fine.
That's fine for you.
I'm right behind you. Let me move.
Okay. Eyes light more on her face. Closer to her eyes. Not too close though.
Yeah, it looks better.
So you can adjust the pose, right? You can keep going with the pose. I think if you do something along these lines, you start to get more framing and stuff. Let me see. It's okay, really. You can relax if you want.
I'm trying to just keep balance, that's all.
Oh, is it falling?
I think the further back as well, maybe.
Okay. So you can continue to try to get a cool photo if you had a frame or something.
I should pull that chair around because there's feet on it. It's really hard. Like to think outside the box, you know?
Well, there it is.
Oh, there we go.
So it looks pretty nice, and it looks very
So you
photojournalistic,
can-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to get rid of that, but that's pretty cool.
Okay, sweet.
Let's try something else.
We're early about 10 minutes.
Sure, okay. Let's try something else. Let's
Okay.
try, let's put, I'm gonna just do this one to the time. Go ahead and, if you can, sit over here, please. And then where's Matt? Matt, can I borrow you for a second, my friend?
Here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we need the reflectors to get some
Okay.
light?
Take, we're gonna stay out here, okay? Give me a second.
Oh, right. Yeah. Bring the big guns out.
Okay. So let's try to build this, and as
Okay.
long as we have the elements that I talked about, should be good to go. So let's go ahead and move this back. I'm gonna put the 50.
Okay.
Now let me explain why am I doing this. First of
Okay.
all, if you look at the scene, you have a place for her to sit, right?
Yeah.
Can everybody can hear me there? So you have a sit-down place. Another thing is you have repetitions and patterns in the background. Okay, so that's going to be really, really pretty, right?
Yeah.
As long as you don't really want to show too much of the rest,
Yeah.
right? You want to stick to the pattern of the flowers or whatever, right?
Gotcha.
We want to put.
Are you gonna
We want to do more like a romantic look because it's kind of romantic nature look.
Yeah.
So we're going to put a flash in the background and we're going to flash her. So it's going to create this rim light around her.
Right, right.
Okay.
Oh, you're going to have Matt in it too.
Okay, so I'm going to put this on and turn this guy on. Okay, so first of all, this is going to go to master. It's also not going to fire. I don't really want this to fire.
Okay.
It's just going to be the trigger, okay? This one is going to be the slave, and this one will fire.
The terminology is crazy, isn't
Okay. Now we're going to test it, make sure this fires.
it?
So
Yeah.
it does. Now we're going to put this flash in this little doodle stand, right? We're going to take out this little white card.
Yep. So
What we're going to do is
bounces.
create a big sunlight behind her.
Okay.
That's all we're doing.
Right.
We're keeping this. We're going to make it even much more beautiful.
Yeah.
The light's going to wrap around her face, and it's going to look
so-
really cool because that light's going to hit this, it's going to hit her back.
Okay.
Okay? So, oh, my flash is going to die as soon as that rolls down. Okay, let me see. Okay, try that. Okay, and see, man, go ahead and take a seat there. Be careful with the flash. My flash is going to die. Let me see. So we're going to put both of you inside the little
Yeah,
square
so
of
move
leaves.
over. Yeah.
Okay?
Just a wee bit more, Matt.
Now, can't really sit down there.
No. Let's
Okay,
stand, no?
the heads need to be magnetized towards each other, right?
Uh-huh.
Here, stand over here. The heads have to be magnetized towards each other, right?
Yeah.
Her eyes should not be looking at his because if they do, it looks cheesy, like
Yeah.
cheddar cheese, but much sharper, like the most sharpest of all cheddar cheeses you've ever seen.
Wow.
So what you want is to have her eyes looking like at his knees or at his elbow. See what I mean?
Yeah.
He now can be turned towards her, so your body can be turned and tilt your forehead against hers. Okay?
It looks weird though when he's looking like that. Should he be looking?
You can do that, and also let's do a point of contact with your left arm. Kitia, bring it up and bend it like around his chin. The
Oh,
other,
yeah,
the
that's
other
very
side of the
cute.
chin. There you go.
Yeah, that's-
Okay, so now we
Yeah.
have a point of contact.
We're just getting the portrait, right?
Yeah. Also look at Keisha's spinal cord now. It's
Yeah, you need
now
to
it's slouched,
Uh-huh,
right? So you have to raise it, and now you have her
Straight.
hair covering her face. You
Yeah.
see all these little details we gotta do.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you have a point of contact. We're going to.
Just put it behind her ear.
We're gonna do something like this, and then the flash is gonna illuminate this hair. It's gonna look really pretty.
Gotcha. And
Okay.
are we going to see this?
You won't. That's
So
why it
it's-
doesn't matter.
So
Now the collarbones are straight towards the camera,
yeah,
so we're
it
going
needs
to
be
turn
angled a
them.
wee bit. Yeah.
Turn them a little bit, like that. Keep that spine really straight.
Mhm.
See how much better that looks?
Yeah.
You have point of contact there,
Her hair.
and this here.
You guys are doing really well, by the way, considering you just met. You almost look like you're in love.
Okay.
She's going to be all embarrassed, but it worked. What about him? Like, where should he be looking? Because now he looks weird.
He does, and we'll fix it. Okay.
I reckon, like, her chin. Matt, can you look at her chin? Does that look better? What do you reckon?
You can look at it. He can look. Bring the chin this way more,
Matt? Yeah.
more, right? And
Yeah, that looks
then
heaps
look at her right shoulder instead. Look at her bottom elbow, and then when I say just laugh and breathe in. Laugh and breathe in. Okay, hold on a second before I do it. Hold on a second, let me make sure. This is gonna look really neat. So you're gonna laugh, and as you laugh, you're gonna
smooch.
breathe in.
That worked. Wait, she's hunching her back. Sorry, can you put your back straight for me?
Good job.
Thanks, love. Sorry, your arm's a bit, can you bend that wee bit? Thank you.
Close your eyes, Keisha.
Smooch! That looks better.
Looks nice.
Yeah, it looks heaps good. Just can't stop giggling, eh?
Put your foreheads closer together. Just push each other. Yeah. Let me and turn your face more, Keisha, so I can see more of
Can
your
I
face.
move her hair?
Good. Chin down, Keisha, just a tad, and smile. Ready? Tender smile. 1, 2, 3.
Come on. Oh,
Okay.
that looks so much prettier, eh?
So let's go take a look inside.
All right.
Be
Thanks,
careful.
guys.
Be careful
Thank
with my
you.
friend. Can you
oh,
grab
yeah,
it?
I get it.
Careful.
You got it? Thanks, Rebecca.
Okay, guys, I don't know if you got to see that, but take a look
Thanks,
at that.
guys. You did awesome.
So we did patterns and repetitions because of the leaves outside, remember? And if you look, so we have the flash firing in the back, illuminating all this even more, creating this romantic look. And you can pose it however you want. You can
Looks really good.
you can zoom in, but you can do something like that, and that will look really cool. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
But what I'm doing here is the patterns in the background, it's all one single beautiful
Yeah.
natural mesh. There's nothing crazy. There's no red stop sign. There's no parking
No
lot.
apples.
No apples. Okay. The point of contact is right there. The chins are down. They're not looking at each other.
So good.
So it basically has a lot of really nice finessing going on. Okay. Once you're done, if you want, you could have turned the flash and you can make the background a little bit darker.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, you kind of want it that natural. I kind of want to make it look like natural sunlight coming through the leaves, so it would be bright. But they're illuminated beautifully anyway. I
Yeah.
could have made this. I could have put a reflector on them, and it would have made them look even better. Okay.
Yeah.
So here. Oh, sorry, I need to go
You're right.
this way. So we have this kind of, we have framing, right? We have pretty cool shot with the whole lighting in the sides, you know, like a football player kind, with a, in the background. You have photos of her with mixed lighting, all in the same room. You have some cool contrasting photos with black and white, creating that window, putting a diffuser over them to create contrasting light. This vantage point is right on his eye, and that wooden chair is not going to touch his head. Does that make sense? So that's contrasting light. And that's that. So all of that in this room. So if you have a job, obviously they're not dressed as bride and groom. This has nothing to do with bride and groom. You could have done this in many ways. This could have been a fashion shoot. It turns out you could have used this location in a lot of different ways. Another thing we can do, if you stand here, that sunlight is trying to squeeze through that door, and this is a dark room.
Yeah.
So it's gonna make a really broad, beautiful light on their face. If they were to stand here, can you stand right here?
And then Roberto, we're
Done?
ready to go to break
Okay.
when you're done with that.
Take a look at the
Yeah, that
face
looks
and how
amazing.
it's illuminating. It's all because, see the catch that's in her eyes and
Yeah.
everything? So I kind of wanted, I could have, I'm almost done.
Cool.
I could have
It's from this side.
gone from this
Would you have done
side
it from the outside?
and do whatever. You could have, let's just forget the pose. Let's
Okay.
just illuminate her nicely. And she has a very cool look. He
looks
can stand next to her and
Yeah.
we can keep going.
That looks
Okay?
Yeah.
So
Thanks,
we'll
Mike.
take a quick break and then we'll continue with this location scouting stuff. Okay.
Great. Before we go to break, I just want to give a huge shout out to the Landmark Event Center, which is where we are right now in Des Moines, Washington, which is outside of Seattle. They've hosted us today. So why don't you go to their Facebook page and give them a like and tell them thank you for hosting Roberto here. And we're going to be showing you all of their grounds. This is an amazing space, and they do all kinds of events here. I think they also have a film and photography
Yep.
tab on their website. So go check that out as well. And
Because I have special deals.
yeah.
For people who are
And
coming here.
we are going to see all of the grounds too, I think. Aren't we going to be shooting outside?
Yeah.
All right.
Shoot outside a little bit.
So we'll keep you posted about them. But go to their Facebook page and like them as well.
Very cool. So another note is that I've just gotten word that we have a special promotion from Graphy Studio, which is Roberto's album company. And this is actually a $1,000 value for all of you out there who are professional photographers. And you do have to qualify for what that means to be a professional photographer. But go over to the Creative Live blog. There's a blog post about all the different things we're giving away, and you can find out more information about that Graphy Studio offer. But essentially, for new customers, it's a custom sample kit, and again, for new accounts, very cool. Thank you, Graphy Studio. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff there. And finally, before we go to break, I did want to ask you, Roberto, about your picture perfect practice training videos that you so kindly prepared before this workshop.
Okay, and I have a promo video, but I will show it probably later, right?
Yeah.
I found that I wanted to prepare something for everybody out there that really wanted to sit down basically next to me and go through a wedding with me basically next to me and go through the process that I go through when I'm looking at the mistakes that I made at a wedding and the successes and how I got from point A to point B. So what I did is I shot an entire wedding, a real wedding, and I photographed good photos, and I purposely photographed photos that were not very good, and I photographed the entire location, and I put a video together with every section of the wedding where I basically recorded my screen. It's a screen recording software, and I go through every section of the wedding explaining why I chose to shoot in a certain location, why I did not choose a certain part of the location. I go through every pose, every picture I took and explain the pose, how I fixed it, how I started fixing the hands, the feet, the legs, and everything. So it's one of the best training tools I've ever seen, and I wanted to do it for you guys. So it's like sitting next to me while I critique my own wedding. So it's great. It's $99 right now. It's usually $149, and you can get it at pictureperfectpractice.com.
Awesome. Pictureperfectpractice.com.
Yeah, it's called Wedding Evolution.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so also wanted to ask you guys to follow Roberto on Twitter if you are not already. That is Roberto Photo. And so we are going to take a 15-minute break, and we'll see you back then.
Camera's clear.
Hello everyone, I'm Ioana and I'm here to give you an exclusive look into the modeling industry and walk away with legitimate knowledge. At the beginning of my journey, I made a lot of mistakes, and I find that very common amongst up-and-coming models. As I progressed in my career, I was able to learn from these mistakes, develop my skills, and work my way to the top. I'm so excited to be partnering up with Creative Live and celebrity photographer Matthew Jordan Smith. Through the course, I'll be giving you pointers to increase your chances of being discovered and possibly signing with an elite agency. Alright, so let me tell you what's going to be happening during this course. On September 11th and the 12th, I will be working single-handedly with each of the models. On the 13th and the 15th, Matthew will be working with young photographers, and I'll be using the models who I've taught and trained to put their skills to the test by working in front of the camera with Matthew and his photographers.
Creative Live, how you guys doing? I gotta tell you what's happening in Seattle. I'm coming back to Creative Live, and this time I'm bringing a friend with me. I'm bringing supermodel Dia1 Rv with me, and together we'll teach a two-part workshop. I'm teaching photographers the whole industry of fashion and beauty, and working with models, how you cast models, work with models, the whole 9 yards, and a lot more. So join us in Seattle on September the 11th through the 15th. We're teaching you guys some great stuff. Well, I gotta get back to work, so. I hope to see you soon. I'm Matthew Jordan Smith, signing out. All right, I get it all now. See you soon. I'm Matthew Jordan Smith. See you in Seattle.
Hi, my name is Lisa Snyder. I'm the author of the Photoshop series of Missing Manuals, and I would like to invite you to join me for a deep dive into Photoshop on September 17th, 18th, and 19th. We'll spend a full day on selections, a full day on adjustment layers, and a full day on smart objects. Whether you've been using the program 10 days or 10 years, you're going to learn a slew of time-saving and practical techniques in this workshop. You can tune in anywhere in the world completely free while the workshop is live. All you have to do is enroll on the course page. So I hope you'll join me September 17th, 18th, and 19th as we dive deep into Photoshop.
Welcome back from break, everyone. We are standing outside of the Landmark Event Center. We're gonna get rocking here with Roberto, but we have a couple prizes to give away first. We are gonna give away another Triple Scoop Music Song gift certificate and a White House custom color image box. That's a $110 value. And the winner of that prize is LG. LG's Twitter handle is LATG007007. And the quote was, "Build your own language of photography and your photos will look like poems."
Love that.
I love these, love these. Keep them coming, you guys.
All right, and so our grand prize for today is Roberto's collection on Triple Scoop Music. Would you tell us a little bit about that collection?
Well, Triple Scoop Music has about 10,000 songs in their database, and it took me like a month to go over a lot of them and pick my favorite ones that would work really well with a slideshow for many kinds of purposes, not just weddings. I picked stuff that was instrumental, I picked stuff that had voice, I picked some romantic, some more like flamenco-ish, like Spanish kind of cool feel to it, some guitar stuff. So the whole collection will probably serve you well, and the best part about it is that the licenses that Triple Scoop Music gives out when you buy the songs are licenses for a lifetime. So you don't have a limit on how you use the songs or how many years you use the songs for. And you know that it's licensed, so you can use it as much as you want. And there is, I believe, 10 photos in my collection. So it's about $400 value, I believe.
Yes, it is.
So that's pretty crazy.
$99. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the winner of Roberto's collection from Triple Scoop Music is Mattea Michelangeli.
Yay.
And the Twitter handle is Mattea Mish. And the quote was, "Embrace your mistakes and prepare to avoid repeating them.
Nice.
Fail with purpose."
Fail with purpose. Man, these guys
Mark
are really
Wallace
on
would
fire.
say.
They're really doing good.
They're good.
So,
That's good.
which means that you're doing awesome.
Oh,
'cause
thank
those
you.
are all things that you said, Roberto.
I think that's great. Makes me
All
happy.
right. Well, back over to you for our last segment today.
Okay, welcome back everybody. First of all, I want to do a quick recap of what we talked about. The goal for that inside studio, inside library was something that a lot of people have questions about. I did a few things. I asked my live audience to choose the obvious photograph, and then I started removing them from the obvious picture by using composition, frames, contrasts, and the different elements that are part of the posing charts that we have that we're giving away on the DVD. So if you do have this posing chart, we used it to create many different types of feels in the same library. Now that library wasn't very bright. It had some light issues, and we fixed the issue by either opening up lights and using a reflector or creating contrast. So if the weakness was the room was a bit dark, you can put the groom, like we did with Matt, by the window and create a contrasting portrait. We have beautiful Kizia here, and we used the chair not as a chair device to sit on, but we used it as a way for her to sit on the floor and then lean her back against it. So the message here is use the objects around you creatively. Don't just use them for what they were meant to be, because those objects can have a lot of different types of uses, and I think you guys kind of got that, right? The difference got that. I mean, we used a picture with a boat painting, and we used the glass to frame it as a reflection device, right? We used the ice lights to create all kinds of different looks and feels. We used the bookshelves to create a pattern of horizontal lines behind Matt. And so we used the little outdoor section to create some framing, and also the little part with the little bushes, the little green bushes in the back, to create that repetition and patterns part of the chart. So hope you guys got a lot out of it. Now we're gonna step outside, where it's obviously the different situation altogether, quite opposite. Now we're gonna have straight up harsh light, and we're gonna make it look beautiful, and we're gonna work with it. So
Before we do that, let's ask you a couple questions about the last segment, if you don't mind.
Nope.
Okay, there were quite a few questions about the ice light, so I'm just going to read a few of them off.
Okay.
Jean Hall from Medford, Oregon said, "What is the difference between a video light and the ice light?" Inix says, "What's the difference between using flash and using a hand light like the ice light?" And Nubia said, "Any suggestions on when to use the ice light versus a reflector?" So I think people are wondering, if they don't have an ice light, what would be their alternative, or what would you recommend?
Okay.
Hold on one second.
We'll edit that out. Oh, please. We're near the airport.
We are near the Seattle airport, folks.
The ice light is a tool. You can use an LED light. You can buy multiple LEDs, let's put them together. I use the ice light because I like the color temperature that it comes with. But you can for sure buy another type of light and put some sort of filter. It's not quite the same, but it's close enough to get the job done. Okay. The difference between when you use ice light and reflector and flash, they give you totally different feels. If you want to create the sense that there's a sun behind the couple or behind the model or whatever, the flash will be your best bet for a sun. If you're trying to bounce light that's reflecting off a wall, you can use the reflector. So this would be a good time to do a reflector per se, and not such a good time for the ice light. The ice light works really well more indoors. Of course, you can use the eye light outdoors, but it's not gonna have the same push. The flash is such a powerful light. You can create so many different feels, like the sun behind them. You can rim light the models. You can do whatever you want. So I used the tools in the library that I needed to create the feeling of the photo I wanted to create. I used all three. I used flashes, I used reflectors, and I used the ice light. And as you saw in the videos, they were broadcasting it, you saw the variety of photos that we got out of them. You have to use the right tool for the job.
Great, perfect. So one more question before we keep going. Several folks were asking, while watching you shoot, about how you focus. So Lightcatcher said, can you please say a few words on the method that you use to achieve accurate focus? I noticed that you focus and recompose.
Yeah. The reason why I'm focusing on recomposing so much right now is because I'm giving the cameras to my students, right? And because they don't know Canon, they're used to Nikon or vice versa. I don't want to be messing around with focusing points and moving them around. Normally, I would switch the focusing point, so I would have a minimal recomposing going on. So if you're taking a photo where the groom is on the right side, I would put the focusing point on the right. That way I can just focus right on his eye and not have to recompose so much. If you don't do that, you have to put the focusing point in the middle and then recompose to get that negative space to show up. So right now I'm just doing that because of the class setting, but otherwise I pretty much use all my cross points, focusing points.
Awesome.
I use my camera like crazy. The white balance is all custom. Right now I'm not trying to complicate things too much. I'm trying to focus on the locations, so I don't want to get too bogged down with problems with that kind of thing.
Perfect.
So I'm just going to stick with a middle focusing point.
Perfect. Thank you for clarifying, and back over to you.
Yay! Okay, location outside. Let's rock it. So many of you are in a situation where you have to shoot your senior portrait, your child, your bride and groom, your super fashion model, doesn't matter, and you have this lighting situation. And you have a beautiful parking lot behind us. Look at this location, take a look around, because we're gonna use this location to create a variety of looks. And my students are gonna basically get what they learned, and they're gonna start implementing it, and we're gonna finesse the post, we're gonna create beautiful photos. So let's go ahead and get started. I would like to probably start with the first photo just to kind of get the ball rolling, and then we'll move on from there. As I stand here, I looked around the bushes, the grass, the building in the background, and that little tree in front of me right there. And one thing I noticed is, here you go. One thing I noticed is there's a little gap right here. Do you see that? That little gap is an exact excuse to give me a blurry frame. Right? Remember we talked about that. You don't want the frame to distract, you want the frame to draw your eye in. So this tree may be a tree, but it turned out to be a perfectly good frame. See what I mean? So if you were to photograph here, if you look at the back, you have the building and you have some bushes behind the little empty spot of the bush, okay? I'm obviously not gonna choose the building to be in the background because it introduces a color that ruins the mood of my photo. I'm gonna take a step to the left like I just did, and now I have that green bush in the background. And that green bush is in the same color family as these leaves over here. So it's nature with nature. Nothing crazy concrete going by the frame. Now that may sound really anal to people, but that's what it takes. That's what you gotta do. And so let's go ahead and do a fun shot, and we can also keep improving the photograph. So we'll do it like a step-by-step type of deal. So Matt and Kisia, please come over and make your way to the main floor. Woo! And stand behind the cool little bush. Farther back, farther back, farther back. Now take a step this way, right there, stop. Okay, the sun is coming from this direction, so automatically that tells me how to pose the bride and the groom. Here's why. If I pose them this way, they're going to have light and shadow all over their face. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna feature Kisia. okay? So I'm gonna put her face towards the sun and the chin up to fill all those shadows in her face. So she's gonna be bright, but she'll be lit perfectly beautifully all the way through. No dark shadows in her face in between, sunspots, none of that stuff. The groom will just be more like an accessory here. So he's just going to be kind of like there, and we don't really care. We care about Kisha right now. No offense. It's all good. It's all good. We know we love you, man. Okay, I need my camera, so let's see, good. Thank you. Now I'm gonna build this photo little by little. I'm gonna purposely take a crap photo right away. I'm gonna take a bad photo, sorry. Bad photo coming up. Okay, in this photo you see the tree. It's using as a frame, but it's a terrible photo because you're introducing all the stuff on the left. The windows are showing up, the brick is showing up, all of this stuff. Remember what I said? Eliminate things that are not helping you. If the frame is what you want and the colors and the repetition of the bush is what you want, keep the frame just around that spot, okay? Go ahead and give, here I'm gonna go ahead and pose them. Come this way, come around. Bring your face this way so I can see your face. Nope, so bring your shoulder over here, Kiss, yeah. Bring your face over here. Yay. Put your face that way. That way. And let me see your face. So you're gonna, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're gonna be all the way on this side.
Okay.
More, there you go. And then the sun's that way, so you're going to basically do your chin up and you're going to, when I tell you, you're gonna do one hand higher than the other.
Okay.
When I tell you, you're going to squeeze them real tight. Okay, but without